Hi, this is Firestarter, and this is a review of the Play Arts Kai Dante from Devil May Cry 3. And what we have here is the box art. We have Devil May Cry here, Play Arts Kai, Dante's face, and then we have Capcom's logo here, and then Devil May Cry 2 on top, and then on the side we have his image and poses. And then on the other side, just a plain logo. And then at the back, different kinds of poses for Dante and plus Virgil, which I have reviewed. And then just like Virgil, he has a flap that you can open, so it will give it some of the details about Dante and Virgil, and some of the weapons such as the Nevan, the Rebellion, and Ebony and Ivory. And I would not make this too long. I'll open this right away and let's go through with the actual review. First on the accessories is the Nevan. The Nevan is a curious guitar-like devil arm which has this flipping action to convert into a powerful sickle that is absolutely badass. This weapon is quite heavy on the wrists of Dante. That's why it's recommended to use both hands when you try to pose it with a figure. Because if you are going to use only one hand, with the flick of your finger, the wrist automatically turns upside down. Next is this pair of personally customized trademark guns called Ebony and Ivory. Both these semi-automatic pistols have their name painted on just one side of the barrel. When not in use, these 45s can be stored at the back of the figure through their respective holsters. At a glance, both of these guns really look plain, but these are really essential to the whole set. A final mention on the weapons account is the Rebellion. The Rebellion is really a huge sword with a skeletal handle finished with a huge and long blade. As a whole, this sword is as tall as the figure, which makes Dante more masculine than any other Play Arts Kai out there. What is inclusive with this is a peg that you can latch in at the back of Dante to act as a holster for the Rebellion. With this on, it feels like it's somewhat loose and sometimes deter on your whole experience on this figure. Sadly, what he is inclusive with is just one replacement hand for his left arm. Just like Virgil, you need a screw maneuver in order for you to pull out the default trigger hands to place this extra hand in. And recently, I was asked to do a size comparison between an SIC and Play Arts Dante. So here's the comparison. As you can see here, clearly Dante is taller than the SIC Kamen Rider G Deno. He is about like 4 inches taller, because this one is a 10-inch, and mostly the SICs are about 6-7 inches depending on the figure. So let's take out Kamen Rider G Deno. You don't need this anyway. So let's go through the articulation bits. We have a ball jointed head, and then we, just like Virgil, he has an extra swivel part here, so we can move the arm towards the front. It looks weird, but it really helps mostly on the fighting poses. And if you try to open the coat, you can see where the these joints lie on the figure. And we have a nice upper torso, and then the waist is surprisingly effective because you can even tilt it way back, and then you can move it front and side to side too. We have an upper bicep swivel, and then ratchet elbow joint, and also a joint here on the wrist, and you can turn this one. And then we have a really good, when I say good, I mean better, hip joints. See here, it clicks, and it has a knee joint also, a pivot point here, and also a hinge on the boot here because it has a cut. And slightly there's this one on the lace area, or the upper shoe. It is separated from the foot, so you can even turn that, and sometimes it is really stubborn when you move the foot side to side, so you always have to align this area, which is kind of irritating at times. And then the end area here at the back, there's a hinge also, so you can even lift these up for more effective poses, especially if you want to have a wind effect. Virgil has one too. I just failed to show you guys how, but it's there also. The texture on the coat is really nice, and without the inner garment here, the rest feels like it's the same with the DMC4 version. And then we have rough texture also on the coat, but at the back it's kind of smooth, but the rest has this really coarse texture to it, which DMC fans would really like. And one thing I'm really not happy about is the sculpt on the face. He looks like a boy rather than a man. This is where the DMC4 version ups against this Dante from Dante's Awakening. In my opinion, the face should have more sharp features, just like what I saw on the game and also on the illustrations. But for this one, he has a really less meaner looking mold here, and it reminds me of Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil rather than Dante from Devil May Cry. So that's my opinion only. That's all you need to know about Dante from DMC3. To sum it up, it's a close call if you want to compare this with the DMC4 version, because the DMC3 version absolutely has an advantage when it comes to accessory count and posabilities because of the new joints. Because the old Dante, even though he doesn't have the new ball joints, he is still manageable to be posed with. But in terms of the sculpt and mold and paint applications, the DMC4 version clearly takes the cake. But if you couldn't find that old Dante, I would still recommend the DMC3 version for your collection, so it can clearly match with his brother Virgil. And that is my review of the Play Arts Kai DMC3 Dante. If you want to know the possibilities for this figure, always check out the photos at the end of the video and subscribe to my blogspot for the full written review. This is Farstarter. Thank you very much for watching and see you on my next review.